Bonjour mes amis, comment allez-vous ce matin? You are locked into an hour of conversation and talk right here on Jasiri. Now, today's show is all about you. How the current fuel scarcity is affecting you and yours. The weather is hot again and Nigerians are not smiling. Instead of us using our time to hustle, we are spending it in long queues to buy petrol that our country produces. How ironical. The irony of the situation seems to be lost on our leaders, however, so we'll be taking your phone calls in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm almost afraid to ask my ladies how they are doing. How are you getting fuel, Lolo? Because I know you and I talked about this just
honestly, I cannot lie to you. For the past 3 weeks, I've been buying 10 liters from black market. Jeez. And I have to even restrict myself to buying the black market from the boys that peddle it in front of the fuel station in front of my estate. So in case something happens, you know at least where you got the fuel from.
But why are you assuming that that black market fuel is coming from the filling station from the
estate? Allow me to assume. Because those boys...
That's the comfort.
Honestly, it's just comforting. I tried to queue in that NNPC by... I stayed there for an hour, only to notice that all of us were just queuing by faith. There was no fuel in the NNPC there. The one by Alausa. On that road that leads to and I was just there hopeful.
You're saying 1 hour. Blessings was there for, what do you say, 2-3 hours?
3 hours.
Yeah. And you still probably did not get it.
I'm usually there for 3 hours. That's, I mean, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, last week. Every Sunday I just go there and I stay, watch movie, eat.
In fact, if the office boss does not even bring us to work, I doubt very much if I'll be able to sit on this table, because if I drive from home here, 10 liters cannot be enough to drive from the island to the mainland.
Please, for context, how much is 10 liters that you buy?
I buy between like 8,000 and 10.
Wow.
So that's about 750 to maybe 780.
So let me say two things. So I have not bought. For some reason, before we traveled, I filled my tank. And I said, you know what? I could just come back to this country and there's a fuel scarcity.
Tolu, I must give it to you. You always have a hunch about this.
I don't know. See, it was my spidey sense. I said I could just come back and there's scarcity. Then we wake up like a week into our trip and there's scarcity. So that's what has carried me since last week. But now I have like 4 bars. I'm like, this thing is not going to make it to weekend. So I was thinking, okay, it's going down again. Ladies. I did Ikorodu Road from Surulere to Ikeja. The queues are going around some blocks. The queues are stretching into over a kilometer. How are we sitting here in one of the richest oil-producing countries in the world, and we have people who are spending hours on queues? Then let me bust your bubble. Do you know this morning, some NNPC stations have now changed the price? We're looking at 855 naira per liter, and 885 naira per liter from Delta. Our correspondent in Delta has confirmed it, and we've seen some of it here.
I know that
it's heading towards 1,000.
I know that. I was talking to my sister in Jos, and then I was like, "Oh, I queued at NNPC for 568, and then, but if you don't want, you can buy black market for 700." She's like, "Where?" Because what they buy for the normal price is like 850, 900. Then black market, you're talking 1,000 plus.
Their stations, I'm even, well, I was expecting NNPC to get there eventually.
Yeah.
There are fuel stations along Agege that sell for 1,000 naira, 1,100, 1,200. They're there, they're selling.
And their cars.
And then their cars there. And they're not so many cars, but they're
cars.
They're cars.
Yeah, they're cars. And then you hear complaints that even when you buy, they have shunted or done something.
Exactly. I was going to say that because it happened to me. I bought 30,000 naira fuel, and it did not last a day. 1 day, I was in shock. So now we know that some of them are even playing dirty.
Yes, they are.
Even with the scarcity that we have at hand. And I'm wondering that even if, is it government that did that one too?
That's Nigerians. That's
totally us.
Ladies, I don't want us to go too deep because this is our main conversation for today. We're going to open up the phone lines and we'll get that number to you on the screen because we really want to hear how fuel scarcity is affecting you in your parts of the country. We also have our correspondents who are going to be speaking to us, I believe, from Delta, Abuja, Borno states, and also here in Lagos to give us on-the-spot situation reports. But there is a story that we also, as women, want to share our thoughts and opinions. Lolo.
Honestly, this story, we should have taken it yesterday, but we just couldn't get to it because we had another big conversation. Politics can be a dirty game, and many people often hold out hope that family is off limits for politicians. But that wasn't the case this weekend, though. Ahead of the Edo governorship elections, a former governor of the state and a senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshiomhole, has slammed the First Lady of the state, Betsy Obaseki, over a comment she made about while she was campaigning. She introduced Asu Igodalo's wife, Ifeyiwa, to the crowd, emphasizing the importance of having a woman in the government house. She said, and we quote, "Let us vote for the best candidate in this coming elections, and I want to introduce the wife. Incidentally, amongst all the candidates, only one has a wife, and it's our own party's candidate, Asue Igodalo. Only he has a wife. This is the wife, Mrs. Ifeyiwa Igodalo. Edo women, you know only one candidate has a wife. Better things come to women when there's a woman in the government house. All women in Edo, regardless of the party, should see the candidate who has a wife. They will take us higher." Those were her words.
Now, that's not all. The Senator Oshiomhole faulted the comment, saying that the All Progressives Congress candidate Monday Okpebholo has children in whom he has invested in their education, adding that their mother joined them at recent campaigns. Now, he said, and I quote, "Our candidate not only has children, he has invested in the education of those children. The first one that spoke is a lawyer. The second one is a medical doctor, and they addressed the crowd in Edo South, Edo Central, and Edo North, and their mother was there."
Ooh.
Okay.
So the senator has been receiving a lot of flack and criticism for his comments because there's further comments in which he then talked about the fact that the First Lady of Edo State and her husband were childless, and that in fact they had chosen not to adopt. There are full comments, and I'll get that for you. But ladies, let's stop, because I know the ladies know the background and the full comments that the senator made.
When I got into the makeup room this morning, I brought the video. It gave me ghost pimples. And I'm just wondering that, when do we draw a line of inappropriate? Even though you're campaigning, there are some things that just goes to the very fabric of our humanity. And you now place that on the altar of politicking and talking. Even what the First Lady said, I didn't like. The fact that she insisted that, oh, he has a wife, and that is why they should vote for him. I don't think it's about that when it comes to politics. We're looking at the character of the person. And a lot of things is going on in families across the nation, across the world, that we all know that the family is not, together as it should be. But to make this kind of, to say that publicly, and even allege that they have chosen, they can actually sue him for defamation because he said it categorically. As if they sat him in a conference and said, "Sir, we have chosen not to adopt."
So let me now state the full comments that the senator made. He said, "I was shocked to hear Mrs. Obaseki say our candidate has no wife. Here is a woman who has no child. Between them, they are childless and have not adopted." So the Senate has also been urged to sanction the senator who represents Edo North, as it is, saying that it needs to show that there's an importance in maintaining the integrity of legislative bodies by holding members accountable for their conduct. Catherine,
I think they're just packaging. This is their real character. Unfortunately, we cannot divorce them, who they are and how they're supposed to conduct themselves as politicians. Unfortunately, the egos come into play, and the senator, if you know him, Senator Oshiomhole, everybody knows he has bad mouth. This is a man from the streets, like he's a ghetto.
Is it bad mouth or uncouth mouth?
Yes.
That's why I mean, in street parlance, bad mouth means your mouth not good. Bad mouth, Sha. You didn't have to go there. And that's why it's easy for him to get a lot of flack. Because Nigerians can forgive a lot of things, but don't go so low. First of all, I
blessings were coming. Hold on. Just hold your horses.
He who is without sin should cast the first stone. Blessing.
It's a glass house stone situation. this is politics, right? And look, I'm not going to go into what Oshomole did or said, because this is somebody that so many people respected before now. And then, you know, now it's like...
Was he really respected?
That's why I said so many people, right? I mean, people knew him as, you know, a former... He just had a certain kind of rep, but now he's lost it. But here's what I'm going to say. It's politics. If you don't want to hear something, don't start it. Don't start what you can't finish. And I'm not saying that what he said was right. But you coming out and saying somebody did not have...
My sister, pick a struggle.
Wife.
You are I hear you and I hear you. I hear you and I hear you.
No, really, because, I mean, it's like a baseball situation.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
You give and you collect. So it's like who can go the lowest. It's a competition of who can go the lowest.
So if there was a response to that, Nko, if there was another response
from who?
Taking from the Obasekis now, based on what this recent...
And do you know that
whatever.
they just don't know how to spin stories? Honestly, I really want to be a spinner of stories. Do you know this thing that they said? Any good publicist would know how to spin this to the advantage of the Obasekis. If they can work on this kind of thing, they can actually make people feel emotional.
People are already emotional.
No, I think we're missing a point here. This is all in the context of the upcoming Edo State governorship election, which is in a few weeks, I think September 21st, and we're going to be covering that extensively. But this is in the context of trying to present your candidate as the best candidate for the people. And in a lot of other states outside of Lagos in terms, women are a large part of the voting public, trying to appeal to women. Let's not also forget that people want a candidate or a leader who either reflects them or they feel in some sense can understand them.
Yeah.
So the First Lady appealed to women and said, this guy is married. He's the only candidate who's married. Having somebody who has a wife beside him who may be able to rub his head and do some pillow talk on behalf of women in Edo State will be to your benefits. That is literally what she said.
Yeah.
This is the only candidate. And then Adams Oshiomhole, as you said, uncouth, he has a history of very controversial and questionable comments, comes back and says, okay, fine, if that's the way it is, but you people that are talking, you don't have children. Because the inference for me, it's about the inference. Number one, it's not the Obasekis that are running for government. I wish he had stayed on the people who are running to be governor.
Yeah.
You took it to people who are leaving the government's house. But the inference for me was you're saying, this is a couple that doesn't have children. Were they able to give your children a better life? Were they able to do something for children in Edo State? And I think I have to side with Blessings. Her comment initially was not as deep as his own, but her comment was still a comment that hit her character.
That's the thing. You want to sell your market. You want to put your best foot forward. In politics, like you said, I agree. I think all of us on this table agree politics is dirty, can be dirty and can be filthy. All right, so I understand where she was coming from. If you are selling your market, you want to tap into, maybe she didn't do it well, but tap into the fact that, okay, there's a woman here.
She literally said it like 3-4 times. This is the only person that has a wife, like Echo.
So the best thing that Oshomole had to do was get down that note.
I did agree that I did not appreciate a comment either. But sometimes there's a level that you don't need to get to. Their character was not in question. It's not the Obasekis that are running.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying that if you spin this right, you can actually rile the people of Edo State that, is it a crime not to have a child?
Believe me, Lolo, they are already riled.
For their candidates.
It's not just the people of Edo State that be riled. We need to remember that there's a contextual conversation about children, about fertility, about women bearing children in Nigeria.
And then there's a leaning.
I'm so sorry. You can imagine what Betsy Obaseki has gone through in her marriage because they haven't had children. We don't know what the circumstances are. We don't know if it's a personal choice between them. We don't know which one of them might be at fault. We don't know. A lot of people are not comfortable adopting. Let me tell you, we are seeing more adoptions. I have a personal family friend who has adopted, but a lot of people are still not comfortable with adopting.
And the process even
of
adopting
it's an African thing.
And then there's a leaning. A lot of people will lean and cringe. Because of that, they will lean towards the candidate that the Obasekis are putting forward, because there's a lot of cringing that comes with, you didn't have to go there. Do you know the fact that she doesn't have, the fact that she doesn't have children, did you have to slap it in their face? Like you said, there's so many things they might be facing.
But do you think people will now vote for the PDP, the PDP's candidate, the Obaseki PDP candidate because of this comment?
It's a
really? I don't think so.
I keep telling you that politics is just in Nigeria, we don't understand what public relations means. It means being able to spin a story to your advantage.
Nigerians are
Why do you dig
sentimental.
up dirt about your opponent?
But
It's
why
because
is
you
it that
want to use
children
it.
and families are supposed to be off
So
limits?
you are telling me that Nigerians will actually lean more into what Oshomole is saying?
Nigerians are
Not
sentimental,
necessarily
but they're
lean.
not that sentimental. We're not gullible.
My sister.
Okay,
Many people will say it's
we're
not
going
their
to. It's all
business.
right. It's all right. Let's not forget that this is also something that happens abroad. Recently, with the Trump-Harris campaigns, we saw Trump say that Vice President Kamala Harris doesn't have kids and that she's a cat woman. Guess what was trendy on American social media? Cat women. Women who have chosen not to have children were supporting her. But there is a point to what Lolo is saying about spinning this. But this is again a conversation and a situation that calls for introspection about our political arena and how we operate politics in Nigeria. But I'm sure there's more to unpack. But we have to go for a break now. When we come back, we touch base with News Central correspondents in other parts of the country as well as Lagos to see how the fuel scarcity is playing out there. And we also hear from you, our main constituents, on how you are being affected. Stay with us.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Jasiri. We've been having intense conversation, but not as intense as what we're about to get into. And we'll be opening the phone line, so please do all to call the numbers showing on the screen. But right now, we want to take a look at statements from the NNPCL on this issue. And then we'll be joining our correspondents across board to tell us what the situation is. Let's take a look.
It has acknowledged recent reports in national newspapers regarding the company's significant debt to petrol suppliers. This financial strain has placed considerable pressure on the company and poses a threat to the sustainability of fuel supply. In line with the Petroleum Industry Act, the NNPC Limited remains dedicated to its role as the supplier of last resort, ensuring national energy security. We are actively collaborating with relevant government agencies and other stakeholders to maintain a consistent supply of petroleum products nationwide. Ladies, don't forget this comes a few weeks after they denied the report that there were debt issues, and now we're hearing that it's about a 6.8 million or something debt that is owed. So why just not tell us the truth?
But that is Nigeria for you.
It takes me to what
That's
Lolo
Half
can
of
say
the
about
time
spinning
when
something.
half of the time when we talk about something in speculation, trust me, is already there. They are just not acknowledging it. It just shows the way the government of this time sees the people. We are the last one to get the bad news. This, if they had said this ahead of time, people would have made some plans. Do you know that every home has a budget?
Yeah.
You'd have budgeted a little more. Maybe you'd have reduced something to increase this because this is going to happen. But because they don't think about the people, they just do this arbitrary thing. And now that they've told us, they're just expected to swallow it. That's what it is.
Do you have a choice?
They
Because
don't-
I need to ask, what's
Exactly.
the choice
What
that
choice
we
do you
have?
have?
That's why they don't tell us, because they feel that we are our level of adaptability is incredible, and I keep saying it all the time on the show. We have become a nation, a people that adapt so easily. We have become like the amoeba. We
No,
take
the
different
crayfish,
forms.
not
Yeah,
conditioned
we,
crayfish.
I mean,
no matter how.
So, but even
listen
at
says
that-
there's when things are so terrible, you feel we can't get any backa.
Go back at that.
We'll go
We'll
back
go
at
back
that.
at that.
So, but even at that, you know, a lot of times they say things like Nigerians don't know how to ask
The right questions.
government the right questions, or you know, put them into account or something like
Demand
that. Ask for
accountability.
accountability, yeah. But at the end of the day, even when we demand accountability, we're given half-baked truth. And then we don't even know which is true or which is false, because we're confronting them and then they're like, no, it's not true, it's not true. And then a week later, they're like, well, it's true, Sha, but we're working on it. And we don't know where to face. So at the end of the day, we ask or we don't ask, we're getting the same things.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to our correspondent in the FCT, Emmanuel Bagudu. He's on the streets right now in Abuja telling us and wants to, of course, share with us how the fuel scarcity is playing out. Emmanuel, are you with us? All right, looks like some technical difficulties. Let's also get the numbers back up on the screen. Let us know how things are in your area. How is the fuel scarcity affecting you? As soon as we're able to get to Emmanuel, we'll talk to him. We're also expecting to hear from our correspondent in Delta State as well. Emmanuel, it seems you're back with us. Emmanuel, talk to us. All right, so those technical difficulties want to play cat and mouse with me today. So also we're going to hopefully go to Delta State as well. Bernard Akede is heading on the streets of Lagos, and we also want to talk to Umaru Kariwa in Borno State as well. Any of them who come up on time, don't forget the number is on your screen. Call us and let us know how the fuel scarcity is affecting you. As I said earlier, ladies, now people are waking up and seeing that NNPC prices have also changed as well. Some have seen 855 naira per liter. This morning, our correspondent in Delta showed us, sent a video of 800 and I think it's 85 naira per liter as well.
Oh, those ones
I think we have the video of that.
So that means everybody's going to go above 1,000.
So if NNPC is at that rate, you can tell that anybody else is upwards. And so that is it. That's coming from Delta State, from Asaba in Delta State, that was sent in 885 naira per liter.
You guys
fully
are still
on
okay.
the, what's this thing called? Sorry. Fully on the pump. That's the word
I mean,
for
they're
it.
still doing well. I mean, in Lagos, fuel is already being sold for 1,000 naira, 1,100 naira, 1,200 naira.
You don't understand. This
in
is
some fuel
the
stations.
NNPC.
Yeah.
In Lagos, we're still seeing 500 and...
No.
Okay,
They are
ladies,
changing
we
it.
have Emmanuel. Let's talk to Emmanuel now. Emmanuel, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Abuja. Can you hear me?
We can hear you very clearly. Emmanuel, tell us how
Hello,
things
good
are
morning.
going. Tell us how things are going. I think one of the things people want to know the most is how much is fuel selling for in Abuja right now?
Yes. As at yesterday, a lot of people complained that the boat fall as high as 1,200. But right now, I'm standing in front of a popular filling station here at AP, close to that's in Maitama district. And I'm here with a taxi driver who has an experience, who will share with us from his experience. Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name again, sir?
My name is Chidebere.
Tell us how's the fuel scarcity been as far as taxi business is concerned?
So this fuel problem now everybody is feeling it. Since Monday, we have been finding it difficult for Abuja to get fuel. If you look at me now, I'm having a keg in my hand. There's no way to enter, and then look at the fleet and say they are already stopped. Since when they sell around 6 to 7 o'clock, they stopped. So that there's an information from Lagos, they should not stop, they should stop selling. Now they are taking the phone now to 1,200 naira per liter. That's why everybody is stranded. They look for way out. There's no way. My brother, we are in the hell. We are in the hell.
So tell us, how has this thing affected your business?
I cannot go anywhere this morning. I'm in the police station. What is time now? I'm in the police. I never carry one trip. I never carry anybody. This morning, there's no way we can move. And they cannot motivate without fuel. And if you buy one, two, how much are you going to tell the passenger to pay? Everyone is feeling it. There's no easy. That we will not find it easy. We will not find it easy. As to be sincere, we will not find it easy.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So that is a taxi driver just confirming that fuel in Abuja is 1,200. And the worst part of it is the fact that the fuel station have stopped selling since 7 a.m. And behind me is a very long queue. All prospective buyers are anticipating that any moment from now the filling station will start selling, but unfortunately no one is selling for now. I've gone to the one close to the Federal Secretariat, is not selling, and then of course the one behind is not selling, and then the one here at the Maitama area is not selling. This is actually a popular filling station that is known to be selling fuel all the time, but today the story is certainly quite different. Yeah.
Emmanuel, let me ask, because you had sent messages earlier that you've been to a few other stations and they were not selling at all. So as of right now, you're at a station that has a queue and people are still waiting to buy. The taxi driver was alluding to the fact that he was told that they had heard some kind of information that they should no longer sell. So as of right now, the stations you've visited and where you are, they're not even selling. Whether we know they have or not, there's nobody selling anything, correct?
I went in to speak to the manager who told me that of course, they are selling, but they're waiting for instruction, which is normal. Just like what the taxi driver just confirmed to us right now. But of course, what really is striking in the mind is the fact that they were selling as early as 6, and all of a sudden they have stopped, and there are a lot of people already, on the queue. So it's something that is very, very disheartening, and the suspense is too much. Look at a lot of people stranded. They don't even know what to do. So they don't even know whether to go to the front or to go to the back. I mean, those are their lamentations all through. that are just waiting to see whether any miracle will come. So, but what really is striking is the fact that why did they stop selling? Is it that the product is not available? The product is available, but of course, they all said that they don't have any instruction to sell. That was what we confirmed from the 2 filling stations as at this morning. Yeah, the one in close to the Federal Secretariat and the one here at the Maitama Center. Yeah.
All right, Emmanuel, thank you so much for those updates. We'll be speaking to you soon. Thank you so much. Ladies, before we break that down, we have our correspondent who is in Borno State on standby as well. Umaru Kariwa, please talk to us. Let us know what is happening in Borno State right now.
Yes, the situation is much more similar with other parts of the state. However, for Maiduguri, it's relatively different because petrol are available, but the cost is something else. And there is disparity in the price of the product. Some filling stations sell at the price of 1,000 naira, others sell at the price of 1,100, and even some sell at the price of 1,200 naira, while others sell at the price of 950 naira. And the unfortunate part of the story is that some black market spots even sell much more cheaper than filling stations, and even the NNPCL filling stations are closed. Most of the filling stations I visited in the early morning hours today are closed. If you can see, this is one of the NNPCL filling station, and if you can see, there is no vehicle here, and it's closed. And you wonder where those black marketers get their own fuel. However, I have one resident who will speak to us with regard to how they are battling with the issue of fuel. So, Baba, me za ka gaya mana dangane da yanayin yadda ke fama da rashin mai?
Gaskiya rashin mai muna fama da rashin mai kore da gaske. Motoci su biyo gidan mai kamar a kawo mai a nan NLCC na hanyar Lagos Street. Daga gani motoci za su kai fiye da kilomita 1 a kan layi. Daga gani har fada ana yi. To yaya komai ba zai yi wahala ba a bisa ga rayuwa. Misalan da muke da shi a kasa nan. Mai wannan ne ya kawo mana. A ce ka je wannan gida mai sai dai wahala sai dai fada. Kuma mai kuma ba za baka a kan farashin da kana so ba. Daga gina a ce maka lita daya waje 1,000, 1,000 da wani abu ko kuwa na gwamnati a ce maka kaza haka. To, motocin da suna zuwa suna kawo mana kaya abinci, shi ne ya sa muna sha wahala daga gani mayan da suka sha a cikin a ce a jau uba a je a kawo abinci. Daga gani direba zai yi lissafi abin da ya kashe a kan mai, kuma dole ne ya labta a kan kayan da zai kawo. To ma kaya kuma dole ne ya zo ya sa ma farashi ma masu saya. Daga gani a kan masara yanzu, masara zaka saya masara waje 4,000, saboda ala zaka saya masara waje 4,000. Ka duba a zamanin Goodluck 4,000 wanda zai saya maka buhun masara daya har da shaurar canjin ka. Amma ga shi a zamanin da muke cika a yanzu, kowa yanzu wata ya riga kama shi ta duk da yunwa.
Okay, mun gode, Baba. Okay. So what this man is saying is that the cost of fuel has replicating effect, particularly with regard to food prices. He said during the previous administration, particularly that of Goodluck Jonathan, they can purchase 1 bag of maize at the price of 4,000 naira. But 4,000 naira is it can't even buy a mudu of 1 measure of maize. So it is unfortunate that people are going through difficult times, and much needs to be done on addressing the issue of fuel.
Umaru, I was going to ask you, what is the feel of the city, especially when it concerns the commuters? Do you see a lot of buses on the way? Are people able to get transportation to where they're going, or is it affecting the price of transportation in Borno at the moment?
Well, both natural it will affect, but people have to go out. Some people have to resort to trekking, while others is cycling. But one good side of it is that the state government has provided vehicles that are transporting persons at cheaper cost. They are paying 100 naira, some to a drop, but it has really affected commuters. Even the resident that I spoke with him, he told me that he trekked for miles because he does not even have money to purchase food, talk less of paying transport money. So they have to resort to trekking, and others using tricycles, while others resorting to the state government provided vehicles. You can see that vehicle is one of them, which was provided by the state government, and it's cheaper to the residents. So this is the situation in Maiduguri.
Okay, Umar, I want to quickly ask you, I mean, you've already mentioned that people have to go about their businesses, and then you also said that it's seeming like in some parts of the north, the black marketers are even selling cheaper than the actual fuel stations. We understand that in some parts of the country, this is costing a little, the fuel sellers and the black marketers are at loggerheads. Is that the situation in the north? Is there any scuffle between those at the fuel station and the black marketers? Because like it or not, people have to buy fuel, and if they can't access the actual stations, they buy the black market. So is it causing any scuffle?
Well, both natural it has. But one secret I learned from the black marketers is that they used to go to the NNPCL with, some of them go with their vehicles, they will do full tank, and then after getting the fuel, they will then transfer the fuel from their vehicles then to the gallons. Then they resort to selling it at separate. But the unfortunate incident in these 2 days is that even the NNPC filling stations are closed. So we wonder where these young persons get fuel, selling it at cheaper price. And, you know, it has become a sort of brisk business for them, getting about 20 to 30,000 naira a day from the fuel they are selling at the black market spot. So it's really posing a lot of questions to issue of regulation on whether we have regulatory agencies regulating the pump price and so on and so forth, which is affecting the whole petroleum palaver.
All right.
All right, Umar, I want to ask one final question before we let you go. Sanu, I'm going to stay with NNPC. You've mentioned NNPC. So let's take a look at the NNPC price now. Yes, they are not selling in Borno at the moment, but when they were selling, number one, how much are they selling at? And number two, if NNPC is not selling, are there other fuel stations in Borno that are selling, and are there queues? Because believe it or not, if you come to Lagos, the queues are crazy on the streets. Yeah. But Borno seems like everywhere is peaceful, is calm at the moment. I don't know whether that's because NNPC is not selling now. But how is it like in other fuel stations selling in Borno at the moment?
Well, at the moment, there are no queues in most filling stations. Only at filling stations that are much more cheaper. Like I've said, there is disparity in the prices of the products. Some sell at 1,000, some sell at 950. Both natural people will option for the cheaper price. So if a filling station is selling at much cheaper price, you will see a lot of vehicles line up to get the product. And one funny thing is, there is even one filling station that is selling at 880. As at yesterday, I went to the filling station. The filling station is closed. I don't know whether the fuel is, they have exhausted all the fuel. But it's really posing a lot of questions on the lips of Nigerians here in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
All right, Mario, thank you so much for your time today. We'll continue, of course, to check base. This is a conversation that is unfortunately uniting all of us as Nigerians at this time. Thank you so much from Maiduguri in Borno State.
Thank you.
All right. We did have some calls come in while we were talking tomorrow, but we wanted to wrap that part of the conversation. We'll take a quick break right now. We still do want to check in with our correspondent in Asaba and Delta States, and hopefully also get Bernard Akede, who's on the streets of Lagos, where we have seen this supernatural queues resurface. The conversation will continue with Jasiri after this.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Don't forget our phone lines are open, and we would like to hear your thoughts on the situation, how the fuel scarcity and the queues have been affecting you. Of course, people have to go to work, people have to do what they have to do. And we've heard from some of our correspondents across board, and we've heard what the situation is generally. And ladies, it's really troubling, especially the quality of the fuel.
Let's not get into that just yet. We have a caller right now. I believe we have Annabelle calling from Abuja. Annabelle, good morning to you. Hello? Oh, okay. Annabelle, please do call us back. The phone lines are open, as Blessings has said. You can call us on 07055-727272. We also have our correspondent in Asaba standing by. But Blessings, you were saying something about the fuel.
Yeah, so I was just talking about the quality of it, because if, Umoru Kirawa talked about how black marketers are selling at a cheaper price, and the only explanation to that is that they're mixing it, so it's really concerning. And then Tolu even mentioned that the quality of our fuel generally has even been in question. But we have a caller now, Mr. Chris from Lagos. Chris, good morning.
Hello, Chris.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning to you. Tell us how the fuel scarcity is affecting you.
My dear sister, it's not funny. It's not funny. The government needs to do something fast. Everything is boiled down to this fuel stuff. People are dying of hunger. People are slumping. Even the protesters that protested that were hungry, they got people arrested and they're charging them for whatever offense that they didn't commit. I don't know. And our politicians are busy flying up and down and up, giving their girlfriends big money, giving estate for their girlfriends. And the real people are suffering. It's a heartless situation. Unless something is done drastically.
Tell us, Chris, tell us how much you bought fuel last when you bought.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought fuel the last time was 950, 1,000. Last time was 950, 1,000 per liter.
Where is that?
950, 1,000 naira.
No. Where? Which area?
In Lagos here, Borno here, around Borno here. So it's not funny.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
You know what? I was going to ask Chris when he bought the fuel.
Okay.
950, because there's it goes up and down. It tethers at 1,000, but it's between 850, 880, 890.
Does anything go down in Nigeria?
And the fact is that even commuters have to pay more.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not funny. I have seen buses where you will see like adults carrying each other in the bus.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to, make sure that their transport carries them to wherever they're going.
And then buses are not even as
available
because they're all on the queue.
Yeah.
And they come out and they come back on the streets. They're angry, man. If you don't want to enter the bus, may you just go.
Have you noticed that there are so many miscreants on the road now?
Yeah.
You would even see such boldness. Because when somebody is hungry,
Oh boy.
anything can happen.
Yeah.
I saw one experience Monday.
So that means we're not safe.
We have Annabelle from Abuja joining us now. Annabelle, talk to us. How's the fuel scarcity affecting you?
Actually, I would say it's very terrible. It's very, very bad because we don't even know what Nigeria is turning into. Because right now, I have gen at home, and that means I don't even have money to afford up to the price they're selling it now. So that means my girl is going to be there and spoil or something like that. I don't know. I don't even have a car, so I'm picking people who are driving outside there now. And funny enough, I can't even go to work. It's not the same price. I used to pay like 300 from my house to the junction. Now it's 600. It has doubled times 2. And I have to pay that daily just so I could get to work. So it's really affecting me. It's affecting everybody. My mom called me the other day. She sells the restaurant. You can't even put fuel to on gen so that at least there will be light in our restaurant. And people don't even enter because they feel like maybe the restaurant is closed or something. It's really bad. It's so bad over here. It's very, very bad. And I think the government should just do something about it and do it very fast because this protest that they are busy saying they don't want, time will come when they will see the protest and they will run. Just being honest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for your honesty. So imagine from paying 300 to the junction, you're paying 600. That's to the junction. That's not to the office. So from, let's say, maybe an estimate of maybe 1,000 to get to work, she's looking at upwards of 2,000 plus.
She said something very interesting. She said that she doesn't have a car, and then this is what she's going through. So imagine people who have cars.
Trust me.
I have met people who have parked their cars.
Yes,
of course.
Owners are
And the
contemplating.
guy told me, he said, listen, I have to be practical. I have children I'm raising. I find that it's easier for me to go by public transport. And he says one of the good things is that he's now learning bus stops, he's knowing more places, but it is cheaper for him in the long run. He said to me, Kat, there's no forming again.
For where?
I said, there's no forming.
But
let's keep it real.
Do you know that this thing you said is not supposed to be something we should be ashamed to do? We should be able to get on buses, on trains, on water transportation, on carpool, to get to and fro where we're going. And let's not even let's tell people that abroad, fuel is quite expensive too. But there are other alternatives you can take. And those are the things that really make me unhappy. Well, yes. You are making life difficult, and there are no alternatives. So how are people supposed to cope?
But ladies, I think it's time for us to join News Central's correspondent, Austin Azu, who is on standby in Asaba, Delta State, to tell us how the situation is looking there. Austin, good morning. Can you quickly run us through what the situation is? How much is fuel in Delta State to start with?
Good morning. Currently at the NNPC here, and for now, this place used to be like a market center. But however, because of my camera lens, I can't be able to park the last vehicle that might be on the field because the fuel exceeded the normal range. However, we came in this morning. As we are coming in, we saw long queues of vehicles, especially on those major gas stations. At this particular spot here, we were here 2 days ago, and we saw the pump price. It was about 691 naira. That was the last time we came here. But today, I came in today now to come to check and to know how far the process is going. Before we saw the price on the meter has moved from 691 naira to 885 naira here at the NNPC here. So, of course, NNPC is a government-owned fuel station. So, but the people who are stranded at this point in time, they don't even know the current price now. The price just changed overnight. But I asked the manager what happened. How come the sudden change of the price? He told me that that's the directive from Abuja. So it means quite well that as soon as we open this particular gate for vehicles to go in, for them to go and get on fuel, it means once they get there, is the price, which we want them to, interrogate the process. How come that the NLPC happens to be the government-owned, perceived government-owned fuel station selling that kind of high price? For meanwhile, we have other independent marketers here in the state capital whose price have definitely might have skyrocketed, depending how they might be able to manage the situation. We bought here yesterday. We bought at the rate of 850 at one of the independent marketers. But however, this morning, for what we have seen from the NNPC here, it means definitely they are going to increase the price from 850 and 950 they are selling it for. Definitely, for the end of the day, it's going to hit 1,050 to 1,200, depends on the way they want to sell it. And of course, the regulating body, they are not being effective in this particular area, because if they are being effective, they will be able to manage the process. But the question that comes to bear is that, can you control what you don't produce? Can you control what you don't have? So at the mercy of God, the transporters, anybody who wants to use here, will definitely begin to, grumble. After the grumble, what else will you do? So obviously, you might likely go home to go and sleep in darkness, or probably you might not be able to move your car anymore. So that's the current situation at hand here in Asaba, state capital.
Okay, so Austin, you really helped us lay out what the change in the price, or what you said overnight until now. What about the queues? So we also know that if we're saying NNPC is at about 885 naira, that's very much meaning independent marketers, as you said, are going to go much higher, which is going to lead to longer queues at the NNPC. But talk to us about the queues. Then also answer a question that Catherine put to Umaru as well. How has this affected transportation in the city? Have you seen an increase, or not an increase, a decrease in the number of vehicles available, in the number of vehicles plying the roads, the number of transports available to the people? What are these knockdown effects that are happening in Asaba because of the fuel scarcity?
Go with my cameraman to get the footage along, particularly inside the state capital, Asaba City. We have seen that the movement of the vehicle has drastically reduced because one, a lot of persons do not be able to afford the issue of buying of fuel at 850 or 950 as the case has been as of yesterday. And not only that, let's look at the issue of the generator, for instance. In Asaba here, most of the police stations, they have given a directive that they shouldn't sell fuel to anybody who is coming to buy fuel with jerry cans. So we did a report on that. But the question, however, is that a lot of persons who are running small-scale businesses don't have access to get fuel. So it means that they will be relying on this here, which is government as NEPA. And most of them, you know, of course, that NEPA is not a guarantee. So obviously, you see them just go to assume office in the shops, and definitely they will sleep off and just be hoping and praying. However, the scarcity of fuel or the hike of fuel has reduced regular movement in and out of the state capital, even from the air bridge on Onitsha. Of course, if there will be some a few months ago, you see how busy the road might be. But now currently you can see that the road is quite scanty, unlike before. Okay, just take a look at the road and see how it looks like. You can see vehicles just moving selectally, unlike before that you have to see vehicles moving like convoy. So it's really a very difficult situation here in the state capital compared to what we used to have before now, that a lot of persons will just walk into the fuel stations and get their fare and go to their various places of work. We probably went to the riverine side, the water side, where we spoke to some people about this development. Of course, you know quite well that those who are using speedboats and other machines to work from the riverine community, they can't pull their boats from the river down to the fuel stations to get there. So everything is really a very important. But however, what they are equally asking and praying is for the government to consider their plight. Because one, fear happens to be the only thing that unites us as Nigerians. Because without fear, you can't go to your farm, you can't go to your office, you can't do anything. You can just practically nothing you can do about it. So everyone needs to fear to survive. And the only way out is for the government to listen to the plight of these people who are calling for immediate action to crash the price. Because now the minimum wage, the civil servant will tell that the minimum wage has not implemented, and the house rent is increasing on a daily basis. And of course, the landlord has to do some innovations. These are digital the economic system that has affected every other person. Yeah. But who bears the brunt? Of course, is the common man who is going to enter public transport from his house to the farm, from the farm back to the market. So it's really telling hard on everyone here in the state capital. And I believe it's the same thing everywhere in Nigeria.
Yes, you're right about that. Austin, thank you so much for your contribution here, telling us how the state of affairs are in Delta State this morning. And it just looks like it's a ghost town everywhere. Guys, we'll take a short break. This is Jasiri. When we return, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us.
And one of us is missing because she heard that there was fuel somewhere. Lola has taken off. She has taken off to go and buy fuel. And the rest of us, and I need to buy. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm thinking I'll probably have to leave work around maybe 1 or 2 and just go and camp at a filling station somewhere.
Do like Bessie's. Just carry your lunch and dinner.
Food. Let me take my laptop.
Exactly. But be careful with the laptop, because when you're queuing for fuel.
This is the best time to advise people. Make friends, guys. Because imagine you knew like an MD or something, or you own a filling station or something.
So what happens to you? You don't know any.
You don't know. This is the time I need my girlfriends to be.
Do you understand? To be girlfriending.
To call me and say, babe, don't worry, my guy has it. He's sending 50 liters to you.
Send somebody with your car. Jesus.
But unfortunately, it seems we have no end in sight to the current fuel scarcity in Nigeria right now. For the foreseeable future, it seems that we're going to be dealing with this. But ladies, we need to drop the fact that it seems that the Dangote refinery is ready to start producing. I know a lot of people, I keep wanting to hear whether or not it's going to start producing in the next, like every time I hear Dangote refinery to start producing, I think, is it 6 hours from now? Yeah. Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Yes. Because this has just been, there's a word, something stone. at our necks. I can't remember the English now.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we're ready for that to come on board. We hope that it comes on board and it makes the impact that we're expecting. But it still does not take away the responsibility of the NPC Limited as well as the Nigerian government. We should not be back here where we are. One of the top petrol producers, crude oil producers in the world.
No, let's not even go there. That's something we should be ashamed of based on what it is that's happening in our country now.
Yeah.
We should just keep quiet when it comes to that. It is a shame that it has gotten to this extent. We think in Nigeria that when you see it all, you cannot see, as in, it is in this country I know that you will see what it will bring blood on your eye. We've gotten our queue to go.
I think all these things you're saying,
leave me.
I just want to go and queue.
We are just going.
Guys, this is our queue to go and queue for fuel. Ladies, I don't know about you, but I'm heading out. Thank you so much for joining us. I would really love to say that this will get better very soon, but we don't know when, and I cannot give you vague promises. But anyways, just keep your heads up. If you need to make adjustments to your budget this period, try and do that for posterity's sake.
For posterity's sake. We have to go, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.